In modern digital sound recording, there are 44,100 samples per second. That's what was needed to adequately reproduce sound when the technology moved from analog to digital. When you look at a movie, that's maybe 30 frames per second. So we can hear at a resolution in the time domain of 1/44,100th of a second, but only see 1/30th of a second. That's all that's needed to fool our eyes. So our ears tell us much more about the world around us, things we can't even explain in words. That's why talking about music is like dancing about architecture, because a piece of music is a shorthand for a narrative, a story that words can't even begin to tell because it's so mind-blowingly epic. When you think of it this way, if a picture tells 1,000 words, a picture, that's one frame of a movie. The amount of sound information relayed in that same 1/30th of a second is 1,000 words divided by 30 and multiplied by 44,100 samples per second. That's 1,470,000 words, all told, in 1/30th of a second. In a full second, that's 44,100,000 words. And in a 3-minute song, you multiply that by 180 seconds, it's 7,938,000,000 words, which kind of puts my concern about that 20,000 word dissertation in perspective. The human hearing system routinely performs intensive data processing. Every song is big data. Digital humanities practitioners can perform text mining and create visualizations to glean new insights from material like textual databases of literature and historical statistical data, anything you can put in a CSV file. But music is a special case among archive materials. The computational overhead of listening to music is beyond what computers can do. It's too subjective, too human, and music is too rich. Only humans can listen, understand, and decode it. And now DHers, archivists and librarians are digitizing old records in wax cylinders and putting collections online. But to my mind, as a musician, there has to be another step. Songs don't just need to be listened to, they need to be played. Songs are malleable and elastic. They can be deconstructed and reformed in unexpected ways. I love hearing different versions of the same song, hearing what other musicians bring to it. To me, it's the most amazing thing in the world. I became a little bit obsessed with music archives last summer, so I started learning to play some of these old songs. And I enjoyed it so much, I thought other musicians will get excited about it as well. So I set up 100 Years Late, a music archive revival project. By focusing on a specific year, 1914, I'm making it not just a participatory project, but a resource for anyone who's interested in the music of this era, aggregating links to dispersed vintage music resources all over the web. I've been doing some investigating and writing blog posts about the interesting songs I've come across and the stories of the people behind them. Now I'm trying to get other musicians involved and see how far we can take this. In the last 100 years of continual technological innovation, musicians have been using whatever's to hand, whatever new technologies the previous generation didn't have. While today's new technology is finally making really old music accessible again, it lived in dusty archives unheard for decades. Many of the songs fell out of use completely, but they were preserved on record in a physical form. And what's been digitized so far is now our cultural inheritance. As well as this new access to old music, most musicians now have some kind of recording software that they can use. So these technological jumps created the conditions necessary for something like 100 Years Late to be viable. My mission this year is to facilitate engagement with music archives, to inspire creativity and reinterpretation and make a unique resource to be enjoyed by musicians and anyone who loves music.
I cannot sing the old songs I sang long years ago, for heart and voice would fail.